Happy December and looking forward to talking about some Fallout. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, December 1st, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. First thing to talk about this week was a little bit of bittersweet news this week. It seems like Baldur's Gate 3 is releasing its final patch. They've been slowly upgrading and improving the game since it's launched in August on PC, and now they've got the big final patch. It's 30 gigabytes of data. They even recommended deleting it and re-downloading it. They also have a new epilogue, which I think has something to do with Withers based on some of the tweets and stuff I've seen. I haven't played the epilogue yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But it sounds like they are kind of slowing down development on the game, and maybe I don't know if that means that they've got to like build up the DLC, or if they'll just be moving on to the next project, in which case I'm looking forward to seeing whatever that next project is. So if you haven't already, jump into Baldur's Gate 3. There might be a little bit more content for you to squeeze out of the game. I'm looking forward to touching that sometime soon. Moving right along, I'm thoroughly enjoying the Chinese Room, the developers of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Slowly giving us trickles and trickles of information. I think a lot of people typically hate the like slow drip feed of like teasers. This was again another clan teaser video where they're talking about the next Bloodline 2 clan that's coming to the game. Again, it was only like 15 seconds of actual gameplay as they kind of talked about the clan and gave you a little bit more backstory about what they're all about. Just like every time, like I wouldn't expect from the developers of like Everyone's Gone to Rapture to have like such like visceral gameplay, and I hate using the word visceral, but I was thoroughly enjoying the teaser for Bloodlines 2, and maybe that's a little bit of my bias showing. I'm very excited for Bloodlines 2, and I love what a typically walking sim developer puts their mind to it and what they're able to do. So I'm looking forward to Bloodlines 2, and looking forward to getting more and more of these teasers. This is now the third one they've done. I think I actually missed one somewhere between the first and third, but I'm looking forward to more Bloodlines 2 information. And every time that video comes up and says like holiday next year, I'm looking forward to it. So excited for Bloodlines 2 coming late next year. Bloodlines 2 that teaser was actually part of a big PC gaming showcase put on by PC Gamer. And there was a bunch of other games that was announced at that showcase as well that I kind of wanted to talk about. My entire feed was just full of like indie games and like really unique concepts. And so I'm just gonna run through a couple of the ones that hit my my feed this week, and you should probably check them out too. They're probably all popping off on Steam right now, so you should check them out. One of the first ones that I saw was Holston. It is a survival horror game, and you like slowly work your way through this like town and collect resources. But it has a weird thing where it switches from like an isometric view to a third person, shooter point of view. And it's really cool how it kind of mixes in whenever you're like in combat. It jumps to like this third person and you're shooting zombies, and then it zooms back out when you're like running around the town and collecting resources and doing these missions. So it has a really cool look, really kind of 8-bit kind of look to it. And then it jumps to like a 16-bit third-person shooter. So it caught a lot of people's attention and popped to a lot of lists this week. There's also Frostpunk 2. We got to see, Frostpunk 1, but bigger. They kind of showcased how big the game can get now. I still haven't even played the first one, but I've watched an entire playthrough, and how much bigger this game is than Frostpunk 1 is definitely going to add a lot more mechanics and maybe move the technology forward a little bit, and it'd be interesting to see what they can do with that game. But very much excited for Frostpunk 2. Another game I saw was Iron Hive. This was a unique, and I've been slowly having the city builder itch. I'm even playing SteamWorld Build right after this, but this was a unique part. It is a deck builder, so I think in between the like core strategy of like armies fighting each other, I think you have like a deck builder, and and you'll be building a deck, and then you use those cards to like develop your city. So very much looking forward to, as with all the city builders, there's a lot of them out there. They're kind of a dime a dozen now, and deck building games are a dime a dozen. But mixing those two genres should lead to some interesting stuff. And last but not least, one of the big games coming out of the PC gaming showcase was a pod racing game, which I haven't seen. It's been a while since we've had a pod racing game, but one of my favorite racing games growing up was definitely a pod racing game, and kind of what got me to really engage with the genre. So looking forward to some Star Wars pod racing. Now that's pod racing. Couldn't get away from that one. But yeah, there was a bunch of other games. Let me know if I missed any down below in the comments. Five Nights at Freddy's continues to do well in the box office. This weekend crossing $240 million. And that now sets a record, another record. Five Nights at Freddy's been breaking a lot of records. The biggest Blumhouse movie ever, which I thought was quite interesting. And I thought they've had bigger hits with like Michael Peel's stuff. Like I figured some of those would have been really big at the box office, but I guess the brand and IP related to it brings in a little bit more of the kids, and I assume that's why typically R-rated studio brings in a little bit more money with this Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So yeah, excited to see gaming IP turned into big blockbuster movie and breaking lots of records. So looking for. I still haven't seen it myself. Never been much of a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, but now with all the hype, I should probably check it out. But I'll probably wait till it gets to streaming because not that big a fan. Moving right along, the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game, the reskin of a Far Cry game made by Ubisoft, is 20% off while it's on pre-order. So I don't know why it's exclusively through the Ubisoft store. I don't know if they're trying to like increase engagement to their web store, which I don't think people use very much anyway. But if you order through the Ubisoft store and you want to play Far Cry skin with James Cameron's Avatar on it, I actually am looking forward to playing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. So I might actually pick up the 20% discount. I'm curious if it's physical only, or if I can get a digital copy for 20% off. So interested to check that out sometime soon. There is no more reason to watch Paramount Plus as the Halo TV show. That was the only reason I would ever consider hopping into Paramount Plus. Just not my bag. But the Halo TV show has moved and is now streaming completely on YouTube for free. So I never have to purchase Paramount Plus, I guess. Let me know what I should be watching on Paramount Plus if I never get it. So feel free to throw those down in the comment. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. I only watched like the first 2 episodes of it during the original run. I should have watched it all because I'm a big Halo fan, but never picked it up. I even had a chance to watch it on a plane. Chose not to, but that tells you kind of how low the bar was. But I've heard all sorts of terrible things. But I'm looking forward to actually sitting down and watching it now that I can watch it for free on YouTube. Moving right along, Among Us. You remember Among Us. Inner Sloth is doing a lot of collaborations with a lot of indie studios. And they just announced like a big kind of cosmetic sale for a bunch of collaborations on some of your favorite indie games. I recognized easily Celeste, Castle Crasher, Untitled Goose Game. There's a bunch of other ones as well, like a half dozen or more. 8 great indie games that you'll know and recognize are all coming to Among Us. Kind of makes me want to jump back in and play Among Us with some friends, and something to play during the holidays with family too. It's a pretty simple game, so yeah, I might do that as well. But you can rest assured that if you see someone running around as a goose from Untitled Goose Game, that's probably me, and I'm probably the traitor. Moving right along, we haven't heard from Sony exclusive Pacific Drive in a while, and we got a release date trailer. So I remember, I think a couple months ago, probably sometime around Gamescom, Pacific Drive was delayed, but they didn't quite say when, and so people were starting to ask questions. But now we've been confirmed that this week we got a release date trailer. It is launching February 22nd next year, so we're only a couple months away from being able to drive around in the northwest of the country and the Pacific exclusion zone and check out all sorts of crazy phenomenon. So looking pretty excited for station wagon driving up in the Seattle area. Massive Monster, the developer behind Cult of the Lamb, challenged their community who kept asking for a sex update. I think a bunch of people apparently want to have weird animal. I guess it's not that weird nowadays, but wanted to have their cultists have sex, and the developer said, "Okay, we'll give it to you if you help us reach 300K followers." And guess what happened? The community got together, and now that Massive Monster is at 300K, they have to put their money where their mouth is. And while they have an update coming up, it is not officially the sex update, but there is one coming up soon. So looking forward to potentially hopping back into Cult of the Lamb and seeing what that's all about. And last but not least for this week, we could never get out of the news report without talking about the Fallout TV show. We got our first look this week, and my God, it looks really good. I'm completely 100% going to wear my bias on my shoulder. I mean, you could probably see all the Fallout stuff. I have an entire shelf dedicated to just Fallout stuff. I collect bottle caps just because I'm not that big a fan. But it doesn't stop me from being critical at any one point. But for now, from all we've seen, I think it looks really good. It looks very colorful. It's not a washed out color palette like a lot of people critiqued Fallout 3 for being. And I can't believe how transformed Walter Goggins is as the ghoul. I like the blue suit, and a female protagonist is really awesome. The power armor looks freaking stellar. So I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait till April next year when I can watch the Fallout TV show on Amazon. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, please follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!